start singing, skies are blue. The world's awake, it's time for you. Start it right, you know it's true. Anson in the morning.
Anson in the morning. That's right. It's Anson in the morning, and here I am. My name is Anson. It's morning. Uh, Welcome to the show. This is a new show that we have on PNS Studios. Something that Jacob and I created a long time ago. This little studio podcast network of what we're trying to do here, and this is the newest edition. So let me give you a reason why I'm doing this straight up. We have a lot of shows on PNS Studios. We've got Fat and Spicy, where Jacob and I sit there and we go at it with each other, and Laws is there to kind of kick in her side of the story, and it's a back and forth that works really well. I love both of them. Critical Idiots is great because it's a team effort. We're all playing D&D together. I mean, how fucking fun is that, right? And then you've got Behind the Pint, which is me sitting down with somebody straight up, one on one. We've got uh, Three Wise Men. We have a lot of shows. I can't believe how many shows we have on this network. Three Wise Men, which are three guys that talk about the struggles of urban life and what it's like to live in the cities and deal with the shit that they deal with, and how to handle that on a daily basis. What I didn't get in this network was a way to talk to you guys face to face. And I think that's important. Just about the shit that's really going on and what we're all worried about. Now, I'm not going to get political all the time. I'm not going to be a conspiracy knocker offer or any of that shit. I'm just going to be me. And you guys are going to have to listen to me and deal with me and blah, blah, blah. We'll see where the chips fall. That being said, I have to really quick. Work is just messaging me. So hold on. By the way, if you guys are here and you're watching Anson in the morning live for whatever reason, get on the comments, post, give us something to talk about. We'll have a conversation together about whatever the fuck is going on. I'm gonna be drinking my coffee because it's morning time. It's 9 a.m. here, 9:02 here in Crescent City, California. That's where I live, right up here on the Oregon-California border on the beach. It's very nice here. Very nice here. Today, even I went outside for a little bit, take the dog out, and you got this nice coastal fog. And I know that by like 12, it'll burn off. The sun will come through. Be another perfect day in Crescent City. That's why I moved here. It's fucking beautiful. Hold on one second, guys. I know this makes for great entertainment, right? Me fucking sending a quick text, but work just texted me, so I have to answer this. Of course, they know that I'm going live right now, right? So there we go. Text sent. We're done. Phone is on silent. No more of that. So if you guys have kind of gotten to know me a little bit through the Fat and Spicy show or Behind the Pint, but I've never really just let it all out. Let you guys know who I really am, what I'm about, and I'll tell you what I'm about. I am a 48-year-old cook who just put in his 2 weeks notice at work. I can't do it anymore, man. I've been cooking for so long. I've been on my feet for so long. I'm burned out. I'm tired. The only thing that keeps me going at work is the customers telling me, "Oh, this is the best corned beef sandwich I've ever had. You make the best pizzas." I have people call me at work. Like I shit you not. I came to work the other day. Like I go in about 9:30 to start doing the prep work for the morning, right? Yeah, the chef doing the prep. Anyway, I go in about 9:30 to start doing the prep. All of a sudden the phone rings at like 10:30. No bartender yet. They don't come in till 11. So I go over to the phone, order pints. Is Anson there? Yeah, I'm right here. Speaking. Oh, wanted to let you know that we're happy that it's you working today so we can come in and have lunch. Do you know how refreshing and awesome that feels? I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but it feels great. And then on the other end of things, sometimes you have people that don't appreciate the work you do. They don't appreciate the time you put in off the clock that you're not getting paid for to help that place run. So for all the time, I'm not going to go off on it, guys, because I could get mad. And you know what? Maybe in another episode, we'll talk all about it because I told Jacob on one of our Fat and Spicy shows, we all put on these weird faces when we do things. We all put on a mask and go out in public. TNS Studios is the one place that I feel okay to open my soul, let it all the fuck out, and not give a shit. Just truth after truth. No white lies, no pulling the wool over. Sometimes I might not go into a story all the way because I don't want to give the whole detail. You know what I mean? You can't you can't tell everything. Everybody's got secrets. I got the bodies buried. But this is where it's going to happen, guys. We're going to sit and we're going to talk and we're going to speak our truths. And if you guys want to come in here and comment and say, you know what, you're a schmuck, dude. I can't believe you thought that way. Cool. Come on in, please. This is what I live for. So more about me, I guess. Let me see. What have I got here? I love music. My favorite band in the world is Metallica. I'm an old metalhead. As you can see, I got tons of white hair and big old bald spot and a comb over. Yeah, it's awful. But I love heavy metal. It's a way to let that energy out in a positive way. And if you go to those concerts, man, all you see are people just rocking and rolling and coming together. You don't see, you do, but not very often. You don't often see big brawls kick off at heavy metal concerts. Most people are in the pit moshing or they're out just rocking out, you know? It's a good community. And they're all joining together for one cause, and that's the music and the feeling that comes from the Metallica. I love them. I've been cooking for years and years and years. Too many years, guys. What I love to do. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a creativity thing. Like I get a chance to go out there and be creative. I don't know if it's the acclaim that I get. I mean, we're being honest, right? I don't know if it's the acclaim I get from from having people come up and tell me, "Hey, man, best pizza I've ever had," and I've had all the pizzas. I work hard. I really do. I put in a lot of effort into my work. Definitely not the money. I mean, I know that I've worked at this place for 6 years. I've gotten one raise, and that was when the other owners owned it back, 5 years ago. Just I don't maybe it's a small town and there's not a lot of money and business to go around, but I know that if I lived in a big city, man, if I lived in Portland again, that's where originally we're from. If I lived in Portland again, it'd be great. Like I'd be making $45 an hour. We'd be busy from open to close. There wouldn't be any standing around watching my dick get smaller. It would just be work. And that's what keeps me going. It's the standing around, the nothing to do. And there's all don't okay. If there's time to lean, there's time to clean. There's always something to fucking do in the kitchen. I get it. But when you don't have a staff that backs you up at night, I got a couple of guys that are pretty good. But when you don't have a staff that backs you up at night, you don't have these people that step up for you time and time and time and time again. They'd rather talk about all the shit that you do wrong instead of, hey man, you missed this, I got your back. That's any kitchen. I'm not talking specifically about where I worked. I mean, not at all. That's any kitchen. Everybody's out to get each other in these fucking kitchens, and maybe that's just life. Maybe just everybody's out to get each other in life. I don't like that. I don't like to subscribe to that theory because that doesn't seem fair to humanity. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't seem like it's something that should be perpetuated through life. But it just shit, man. In all the years that I've worked out there, it really feels that way. It just feels like you're one man in an island. And yeah, sometimes you're really lucky to get some good friends. I got some great friends in this world. I got a buddy named Frank, man. My hetero life mate. Like he's the guy I go to when I need to calm the fuck down. Um, when I need to be grounded in reality. And that's really what he is. When my head starts floating above, he grabs the balloon string and pulls that shit back down. He's like, here's all the reasons why you shouldn't do what you think you should do, man. And he's great at that, and I love him for it. He's just a really good human being. And there's a ton of good human beings out there. We all need a good friend. I got a couple of Jesse in Portland. Uh, man, another cool guy. Taught me a lot of things. I don't know what else to say about him. He's just a really good guy, and he's always there to chat when you got a funny meme or that's his thing. He likes to send you memes. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you need to be perked up. You know what I mean? I'm 48 years old and I still giggle at the goofiest shit online. It's fucking amazing what we're dealing with. Dude, when I was let's call it 13. No, because we got the computer when I was We got our first computer. It was an IBM 286. Yeah, look it up, youngsters. We got this IBM 286 when I was in the 8th grade, but we didn't know about going online until I was a freshman in high school. Some kid named Corey, fucking, I forgot all about Corey. Some kid named Corey turned me onto it, and it was Prodigy Online. So we got the Prodigy, and then over time we upgraded to America Online when they start sending you all the goddamn discs, and they were floppies at the time, the 3.5 inch. No, is it 3.5 or 1.25 inch floppies? So they'd send you those, and we get all the fucking free internet. You guys forget. I grew up in a house that had a phone on the wall that you had to dial the little circles to, and it was connected with a wire. Now we got a long wire, so you could walk all over the damn kitchen, but that's not the point. The point is, nowadays you got technology coming at you. My kids, the shit my kids have. My kids got VR. Both of them got their own little VR helmets, jumping around the house like monkeys, living in their own virtual world. I could have never imagined this when I was a child, ever. I had a Nintendo, and on my original Nintendo Entertainment System, it came with a like there was this one Star Trek game I remember, and it was like you were in control of all the different whatevers, and it felt so real. And I'm like, yeah, this is cool. And then we got on my computer, we got this game called X-Wing. It was the first time I'd seen a real simulator like that, and it blew my fucking mind. About 9 months ago, 10 months ago, I go back to play X-Wing. It looks so shit. Now I played it for nostalgia's sake because you got to. It looked like shit. It was hard to play and it was slow and kind of lurchy because the frame rates were whatever. But who knew that like back in the day, that this is where we'd be technological wise? I don't even know why I got off on this tangent talking about something or other. Who cares? Who cares if we get off on the wrong topic? That's what Anson in the morning is about. We're gonna get off on all the fucking topics. And if I jump from one to another and I forget what the fuck I'm talking about, just stay with me because eventually it'll come back around, okay? Uh talking about my past. What else are we talking about? I love stand-up comedy. I'm not a stand-up comic. I've tried to write one a couple times. Never gone on stage to perform it because every time I write it, you just know. You just know this isn't right. This doesn't have a flow to it. But I'm not accomplished. I never practiced it. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? You practice, right? I've never been able to do that with the comedy. With the comedy, I think I would rather sit and play a cool video game than sit there and write jokes. I don't know. I don't know. Some people would rather build a boat than read a book. Who knows? Some people climb mountains. Fuck that. All right. So I keep a list of everything I'd like to talk about today here, and I'm just going to go down the list because it's the first show, and I just kind of want to get to know you guys. So I'm going to tell you all the shit that I wrote down about me. What did I write here? I love movies. Fuck, I love movies. I will sit at the end of a work day. I will come home, take care of dinner and all that shit, clean up around here. I sit here in PNS Studio One. This is PNS Studio One. Fatsy's got PNS Studios 2. Lazi's over at PNS Studios 3, and Yusuf runs PNS Studios 4. We're actually doing it here for some fucking reason. I don't know how we did this. It's funny, we're so big and we have no viewers, but that's okay. We'll get there. Thanks for joining me. Like, follow, subscribe. Oh, you know what? Check this out. Check this out. What do I got here? I got a banner. Let's see what happens here. Hey, look at that. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Um, sorry guys, I'm just playing with the new shit. Jacob taught me how to run all this stuff yesterday, so I'm kind of like a kid in a candy shop playing with my new toys. Let's see. There we go. Look at that. I don't have a QR code on the screen, so we're not going to do that. Anyway, back to the stories. What else about me? I love movies. I like to sit here and just I'll watch anything from Police Academy to some stupid foreign thing to you fucking name it. In fact, one of the best foreign movies I think I ever saw was Train to Busan. Is that what it was called? It was a zombie movie in Korea. Good movie. I don't want to get into it. We're not going to talk about all of that, but I don't like horror. There's something you guys don't know about me. I hate horror films. I don't know why. I don't want to be scared. Like I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre when I was a kid, and fuck, just garbage. Because like I remember the scene. He put this chick up on a hook, like through the back. I felt it. Like I felt it go in there. I'm like, I never watch this crap again. And alien stuff. I don't mean aliens like Alien versus Predator. I'm talking aliens like the big eyed motherfuckers. I can't. I don't know what it is about those things that just creep me out, but it gets something in my brain that I don't like. And yeah, I can't do that. I don't get scared. I'm not the kind of guy that runs up the stairs, in the middle of the night on his way to go to bed when it's dark. No, no, no. But I do heebie-jeebies. Who doesn't? I'll be sitting down here, Studio One, and I'll get the lights off, the blinds closed, and you just get that feeling, maybe something's watching you. Maybe there's something out. What the fuck? No, I don't know. Uh, I like to cook. I do a lot of cleaning. When I get frustrated, I clean. Like, I don't know, maybe it's a control thing. Like this is one thing, one place I can focus on and actually make a difference here. Maybe that's why I like the cleaning. I just hate cleaning bathrooms. Always fucking hated cleaning bathrooms. Something about the fucking bathroom. And it's not that it's a piece of do and that there's piss and shit. I would rather do dishes and clean the sink and the floors and scrub the microwave and all. I don't know why. Don't know why. If you guys know why, get in the comments and let me goddamn know because I don't know. So, growing up, I was a child model. Yeah, look at me now, right? I was a child actor, and I worked in a little bit of radio. Tell me you had gay parents without telling me you had gay parents. Yep, that's right. I had a dad and a daddy. I was adopted by two gay guys, amazing guys. Every family has its ups and its downs, and what are you gonna do? But overall, I didn't have those guys in my life to raise me. I don't know that I would be as loving and tolerant and accepting of other people as I am. Being a child of gay dads was, I mean, I don't know any different. I never had a mom, so I don't know that it's weird. You know what I mean? That's how I was raised. But it was interesting because it like I said, it teaches you tolerance. You're brought up around people that have a whole different lifestyle, whole different point of view on things. And on top of all that, you meet so many neat people that think that that's a cool idea. I used to have to hide it because I went to Christian schools, guys. I went to Christian and Catholic schools. We're going to get into religion and my views on that in a little bit. And I'd have to hide it from these bigots. I don't know the word. Instead of having a dad and a daddy like I had to have a dad and my uncle. People knew. People knew. How could you not know? I mean, I'm sure some assholes out there, especially some dopey Christian, was like, "Yeah, I said it, guys." Um, like, oh, he's got a dad and uncle. Yeah, right. A dad and uncle that make the bed squeak upstairs every fucking night. Don't get me into that. If I ever write a stand-up comedy, it's going to be about walking in on my parents because everybody walks in on their parents at least once in their life, but not that way. That's not good. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that today. Um, what are we going to talk about? Let's talk about the religion part of all this. So I went to private school my whole life. Kindergarten all the way up to high school. I went to a public school for one semester before they asked me not to come back. It's a troublemaker. What are you gonna do? But every Christian school I went to, whether it was Catholic, I started Catholic. I remember being a kitty, itty bitty kid, blah, 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 itty bitty kid going to Catholic school or Catholic church with my dad when I had to be in like maybe second, third grade. And all I remember was sitting there and waiting for the key moments, shaking people's hands, the singing of the songs, and going up and getting the communion. It was fun. It's the only part of that was fun because, I'm in the second grade. I'm not trying to listen. But on the other hand, you had grandma. Now, grandma was a Pentecostal Christian mixed in with a little bit of hoodoo voodoo because, one of my adopted dads had a Hispanic background. So she was like Catholic voodoo. I don't know what you call it. Maybe it's almost like a Santeria, like where they mix magic and religion to make it seem plausible, Buy these candles with Jesus's face on it and burn them at night under a full moon. It mixes the two. That's what I've always felt. I don't know. What do I fucking know? But grandma was into all that shit. Like, we have to stand on a Bible in the bedroom and pray. at night, all of us in a circle, because wherever two or more of you are gathered in my name, there I am. That's what it says in the Bible. So she believed that shit. But she didn't have a stand on the Bible. And even in the second and third grade, I'm like, are we supposed to put our feet on this damn? This is a Bible. Even today, I'm an atheist, and I still respect the fucking Bible. It's a book. It's a you respect any book. I'm not going to stand on Mark Twain either. You know what I mean? So why stand on the Bible? I never got that, but that was her thing. Or rubbing the egg all over you to get the evil spirits out or whatever. She'd rub an egg all over all. I don't know, but then in the name of Jesus. So I thought Jesus said that stuff was black mat. What do I know? So between the two religions, Pentecostal, which is speaking in tongues, whatever, and the Catholics, who I think uh, Jason Smith or Kevin Smith said it best in Dogma when he says, "You Catholics don't celebrate your faith; you mourn it." He's absolutely right. You know, Pentecostals are dancing and jumping and singing and throwing money at the pastor. Catholics are on their knees and they're quiet and they're very pious. So who's right? What does God want? Does he want you to worship the saints? See, that's something else I never got into, right? The first commandment in the Bible, thou shalt not have any other gods before me. It's dangerous to have an atheist who knows the Bible, isn't it, boys and girls? Thou shalt not have any other gods before me. But then the Catholics worship the saints. They pray to them. They give them offerings. You don't give an offering to something unless it's a form of worship, a form of, obedience. I will do what you say, Saint Jude, if you just make sure that this happens for me. Well, that brings us to the second point. All I've ever seen from Christians and Catholics and whoever religious people when it comes to prayer is they treat God like a fucking genie. If I rub the magic lamp and I tell God what I want, he'll give it to me. Did you ever tell him thank you after he gave it to you? No, you got to wait for a special day in November to do that, to give thanks, right? I just religion has never gotten to me, and I learned things a long time ago, like Yahweh, right? Yahweh, everybody, Yahweh, the Lord of it all, really? Because back in pre BC times or whenever the fuck these tribal people lived, Yahweh was a minor god of pillaging and raping. The only reason he got any kind of notoriety was because when things got scarce, you had to go pillage. Well, might as well worship the god of pillaging. And if that's the activity at the time, guess who becomes the most worshiped god? Builds up. And over time, these stories that you find in India and China and Haiti, and you go down to fucking Australia, even the Aborigines got a fucking flood myth. So did it happen? Probably. Was it God? Well, they each got their own gods. Or the Indians will say, the Vamana did it, or Vishnu, or whatever. Or the scientists will tell you, oh, the what do you call it? The watershed on the earth fell. I don't know how that all worked. Whatever. What's the answer? I don't know. But when I asked my Christian teachers, or even my Catholic teachers, for this answer, it was always the God of the gaps. We know until we don't know, and when we don't know, it's got to be God. And now I was listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson the other day, and he said something that made me laugh. He said, now we have the aliens of the gaps. If we see lights in the sky and we don't know what the fuck they are, it's got to be aliens. Really? Couldn't be ball lightning or electric sprites or whatever the hell's going on in the atmosphere that we still don't know about because it happens so uncommonly. But when we see it, it's got to be aliens. I don't believe in aliens, just like I don't believe in God. Now, I believe in life on other planets, 100%, but that's two different things. An alien is a life that's traveled Earth. I don't think that's going on. I don't believe it. I think the distances are too vast. I don't know. I don't buy it. Now, what are we seeing out there? I think we're seeing Lockheed Martin, and I think we're seeing Boeing and a couple of these other, JPL labs doing their work. They're doing what they're paid to do. They're paid to get on there and make their fucking jets the fastest they can. And is anti-grav really that beyond our scope of knowledge? Or is it just being withheld from us? Again, I don't want to get into the conspiracy theory of it all, but it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy that we live in a world, or we've always lived in a world, that we were given a world full of mystery and no answers. Now, the world don't owe us nothing. The world doesn't have to come and say, "Hey, Anson, fuck you, dude. Here's why I did this." No, no, no. It's for me to figure out. I don't know who said it, but what was the quote? We are the universe's way of experiencing itself. We're made out of stardust. We're made this table, this computer, this cup of coffee, this cigarette, this torch lighter. All these elements formed in the hearts of stars, burst out, coagulated into planets, hard metals, soft metals, all the shit melts together. What are you going to do? And here we are. It's the universe's way of experiencing itself. Now, why were we given the gift of knowledge that we're going to die? That sucks. But I don't think we were given, I don't think, oh, you were given the gift of knowing, or is it a gift or a curse knowing that you're going to die? It's the fact of life. Everything dies. Plants die. My dog's going to die. I'm going to kill this cup of coffee in a minute. It's going to die. You know what I mean? But I've never thought it was something to be scared of because I heard a long time ago. I don't remember who said it. I thought I You hear some people on these radio shows or these talk shows or these whatevers, and they know dates. They know October 5th, 1924. Here I was. I don't remember that shit. What I do remember is somebody once told me, fuck, what was I saying? See, that's where we go. We start yakking and we start talking and we forget. Uh, oh, we are the universe's way of experiencing the self. And then he said, oh, who cares? See, I get off on tangents and I forget. This is almost why I need a co-host. Just keep me back in line, remembering what the shit I said. All right. Oh, another thing that killed me about religion. Somebody once said, if you haven't accepted Christ into your heart, you don't go to heaven. Okay. Well, what about the babies? Because didn't Jesus say, hey, yay, little children, come unto me? You know, he loved the kids. I'm sure God loves the kids. Why are angels all represented as cherubs, little babies? This teacher told me if the baby did not accept the Lord into his heart, he wasn't going to heaven. I was a sophomore in high school when this teacher, Mr. Cruz, told me this. That was it. That was the day. There it is. I remember now. That was the day I lost my religion. The baby did not say, Jesus, come into my heart, become my personal Lord and Savior. They don't get to go to heaven. That's when I realized none of you fucking know what's going on. Priests don't know. Eating the wafer at church and drinking the wine. None of you fucking know. You don't. I mean, what do you know? Tell me what you know as a Christian. There was a book that was rewritten hundreds of times. There's a place in Ethiopia that claims to have the Bible, and they're like, "This is the Bible." No, 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 no. This isn't the Bible. It's the Bible, and there's 100 fucking books in it, and books you've never even heard of. Where's all those? Why were those kept out? The Dead Sea Scrolls have scriptures that were never put into the Bible that should have been. Why not? Some were, most weren't. Why not? Why not? Are you scared? Are you scared that it's not going to keep control of the masses? Because hell and religion are a great way to control your people. Great way to control your people, your citizens, your congregation. That's the word I'm looking for. I don't subscribe to hell. I also don't subscribe. Oh, that's what it was. I'm sorry. See, I knew that if I kept talking, it would come back. Oh, I lost it again. No, I'm just kidding. Um, why I don't fear death? Because it's going to be life after death is going to be exactly the same as life before life. Does that make sense? Do you remember what it was like before you were born? That's what it's going to be like when you're dead. So who gives a shit? right? Not going to miss my family. Not going to wish that when I'm on the other side, you can't look down on everybody and make sure everybody's okay. Maybe you do go off into another elemental plane. Matter and energy can't be destroyed. It can just change forms. So what happens to the energy and the electrical impulses that run through my brain? Do they dissipate? What happens to the cognition that I've gained? The knowledge that I've earned over these years? Where does that go? I mean, these are the questions that don't keep me up at night, but they're fun to think about when you've been smoking some weed and you're sitting on a Friday night thinking about, wow, man, the mysteries of the universe are indeed relevant and deep. But in the long run, what? Humans are the last 10 seconds or the last second on the clock of the calendar year, as far as the earth goes. We're just a fart in the wind, and so will I be, and so will you be. Honestly, I think that's why I do this. To leave something of myself on this earth. As long as the internet survives, as long as we don't have an EMP that wipes out all electronical knowledge on the earth, I mean, at least some of the shit that I've done here on the show, with Jacob and Laws or with Critic, any of the stuff that PNS Studios has done that I've been a part of, it's leaving a stamp on this world because you're not going to see the Anson Rotolo building in Washington, D.C. And, I'm not going to write a book, not going to be a famous movie actor. I'm not going to whatever. But I can sit here and I can leave a message for people that maybe somewhere down the road what might happen upon my fucking podcast in the future and be like, hey, this guy is not bad. Too bad he died 300 years ago. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever the fuck it is. Or maybe you can take every one of my thoughts that I'm uploading into this and put it into some AI that my great grandkids can talk to. And here I will be in AI with all the thoughts I'm sharing with you guys now. Oh, grandpa, are you an atheist? Well, let me tell you why. That would be kind of neat. I wouldn't mind that. Oh, but this is a lot of fun. I am a Democrat. I don't know why. I wasn't told to be a Democrat. My parents didn't really have a political leaning either way. Um, I just thought that maybe back in the day when they were all fighting for school funding and this and that, it always seemed right. It always seemed like they were looking out. Like, why erase the rainbow sidewalk in front of the club in Florida? I mean, who really gives a shit? Why you got to make a big deal about it? Democrats don't care about that stuff. Now, I'm not saying they're perfect. You're a politician, you're fucked. Plain and simple. I don't care who you are. You're a politician, you're fucked. Nobody wants that kind of power unless you're fucked. I'm there to make a difference. Maybe in the first year. But when the lobbyists start shoveling money in front of your face and then you get reelected after seeing how the system is, you run for reelection, you know how fucked up it is because you've been there, you're fucked. No politician is good. I don't care what side you're on. Trump, Biden, both puppets of the machine. And I don't want to get off on this, but in about an hour and a half, this is Tuesday, September 2nd. In about an hour and a half, we're going to get a press conference from the White House about Trump's not being seen. So I'm kind of curious to see what that's about, but I'm not going to dwell on that. Like I said, Republican, Democrat, you're all fucked. I'm fucked. We just, we don't, nobody represents anybody anymore. They just don't, man. Like you go to you see these town halls, even the Democrats. A Democrat senator has a town hall and there's a million people yelling at him from their choices. What's the answer? How do we fix America? Do we? Can we? Is it even possible? Or is it just like a tornado? You either watch it destroy shit or you let it burn itself out in the long run. I don't know. I don't know. But I know that just like politics, Democrats, Republicans, worst of both worlds. So was my religious upbringings. Being Catholic and being Pentecostal, both were awful. Uh, when I was raised Catholic, it was you had to be shamed for everything. It was always guilt. Yeah, just looking down your nose at people. And then I went to Pentecostal church with grandma, and they're jumping around and singing and talking in tongues like we talked about earlier. But in the end, what I realized is all church was a place where people go on Sunday to pick to wear their clothes. Why do you dress up nice? You better look nice for church. Why, you looking nice for God? God sees you when you're taking a dump. What's he care about you when you look like when you go to church? No, you're doing that for other people to show off how well you are. And that's what church is. It's a community place where people get together and gossip and hobnob and be the worst examples of Christians that you can be. Man, when I went to that Christian school, all those teachers did was talk shit. Me and my buddy Frank, we were best friends, thick as thieves. And they would talk shit about me to Frank's dad and shit to my dad about Frank so that we wouldn't be buddies because who knows what freaking business is it of theirs who's friends with who's? It doesn't affect their goddamn lives. We're still doing our homework. Why are you going to be like that? Is that what Christ would do if Jesus was teaching that class? Would he go to my dad and say, Frank is a piece of shit? No, it's Jesus. You're not teaching Jesus's morals. I once saw a cartoon in some newspaper or something. There was a bum sitting on the fucking stairs of a church, and Jesus sat next to him and said, "What's wrong?" The bum said, "They won't let me in," and Jesus goes, "That's okay. They don't let me in either." The fact. It's all about if you go to a church and the pastor drives a better fucking car than you, get the fuck out of that church. Now, if you want to go to church, I'm not going to judge. If you want to stab a voodoo doll in the middle, I don't give a shit. Go for it. Have a great fucking time. I'm not going to disparage you for it. But think about the choices you make, people. Think about what you look deeply into it. Actually take some time to research. And that's the other bullshit. Let's talk about this for a minute. Fucking TikTok. How many people are getting their news from these uneducated cocksuckers on TikTok? These guys don't know what they're talking about. Trump is dead. Here's all the facts. You have not fact fucking one. Look at this picture of a UFO that I saw. Everybody give me likes. You made this with AI. It even says at the bottom of the video, AI generated content. You didn't put that there. The fucking thing did because it know you did it. But it's all clicks and likes and bullshit. Nobody knows anything anymore. Even the media. I can't trust CNN. I can't trust Fox. There's not one media, even Al Jazeera, or you go to BBC News. Not one of those news sources I trust anymore. But I also can't trust TikTok because it's a fucking like fest. If we took, but that's the other problem, right? If we take the likes out of it, wiped away likes. You can't like anything. You can't give it a thumbs up. You can't give it a heart. Would anybody post? Would anybody put anything out there? Or is it all just for your own fucking name, for your own fucking sake? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. But this is my time to rant. This is Anson in the morning. You got Anson. It's morning. Let me take a sip of this coffee. I got a Keurig, and I'm drinking my favorite coffee out of that Keurig. I love the donut shop coffee. Um, it reminds me, and it lives up to its name. Grandma was a big fan of Dunkin' Donuts. So we'd go in there and she'd let me take a little sip of her coffee, and it always tasted like that Dunkin' Donuts Donut House coffee. So this is a good brew. I do like this. Um, oh, let me get some in me. So aside from being a chef, a cook, one of my other main professions that I've always tried to chase was working in radio. Let me tell you about those days. I was undisciplined. I didn't know. I was living with my parents up until the age of what? When did I leave house? 19. We're gonna next week we'll talk about the parent thing. We'll actually get into some detail on the parent thing. But I remember as a child actor, now this is excuse me, this is my dad's fault. Because as a child actor, I had a certain look. I didn't look anything like I do now. I actually had the helmet hair. Ask Kodiak one day when he's on Fat and Spicy talking with us. I had the helmet hair going. I was actually kind of good looking. I wasn't chubby, but I don't know what the word is. I was cute. I was a cute kid. I was a model. I did some modeling. Um, then you become a cook and you get fat, but don't ever trust a skinny chef. Okay, because they don't fat chefs like to pile the food on. Look at me. I look like I eat. I do eat. Um, there he is, Mr. GB. What's up, man? You're here. I didn't think you'd be joining me today, man. I'm glad to see you. So what was I talking about? Oh, radio. I was having a hard time breaking into roles because while I was great on print, I wasn't a great actor. My skill is improv, role play. You know, what I call role play, it's people call it improv. I love it. being able to shoot off the cuff. I mean, look, I've been talking here for 40 minutes with hardly a break. I can yap at the mouth like nobody's fucking business. My brain will just blah 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 blah. Uh, so it was my dad who said, you know what? What if instead of being on screen, you're on air? It's just like acting, except nobody sees your face. I'm like, what are you saying? I'm fucking ugly over here? I'm just kidding. Love you, Dad. Uh, so I made a phone call. I called around to a couple of different radio stations. Back in the day, we didn't have the internet really, so I had to open up the fucking phone book. Yeah, Yellow Pages. Look it up. Uh, and flip through to all the radio stations. And I just called, hey man, who's looking for an intern? Who's looking for an intern? I just want to work at the radio station. I don't need to make no money. I just want to fucking do it. Now, this was my sophomore, junior year. I got picked up by KFXX radio, 1520 AM sports radio. Now, what do I know about sports? I know as much about sports as I knew about fucking rocket surgery. I know nothing about sports, but I was a great intern because I would pull the news wire off the thing, or I'd go run phone calls, or if you called in for a contest, I'm the one. KFXX, your caller one. Go to the next KFXX, your caller two. KFXX, your caller 11. What's your name? John. What's your phone number? All right, hang on, man. You're on air. Put them on. Give the thing to the host. And I was in another room. I'd run into the studio, give him the thing. But I got lucky because I used to work on the weekends, and one Sunday I was working, and I used to when I wasn't doing anything, I'd watch the board operator work, the producers. I'd watch them work. And over time, I was like, and it didn't take me long, it took maybe 6 months. I'm like, this is pretty fucking easy. People go to college to push these buttons. I know the buttons you're supposed to push. I know that Tommy D likes his. We had sliders on the boards back then. He likes his slider at 72, and I know that Mike likes his slider at 68. Write it down. Now I know what I'm doing. These are the commercials. Here's your list. We usually had commercials on 8-track that we'd pop into a machine. And crazy. Um, and I got it. Started learning it. And so one Sunday morning, I'm there early, and the guy who runs the Sunday morning talk show wouldn't be there. Honestly, I think he found a broad because he was like, I'm not going to make it, man. I got things going on right now. It's just not going to happen. He called me. I mean, I was already at work. He calls me telling me he's not going to make it. That or he woke up hungover, but why don't you just shower and come in? I don't know. Anyway, he goes, do you think you can do it? Yeah, I know I can. Again, this was me between sophomore and junior year of high school. And sure as shit, within 20 minutes, in come the hosts of this weekend sports talk show. And they walk into the studio, and here's my happy ass. Hi, I'm your producer today. They're like, Anson, what the fuck are you doing here? I'm like, I'm running the show, man. Like, you know what you're doing? I'm like, we're gonna fucking find out right now. So we're on in like 5 minutes. So get your headphones on and let's goddamn go. And I did it. And I'm not gonna say it was seamless, wasn't flawless. For Portland radio station, it was definitely good enough to get me a full-time producer job. And that's how I got started in radio. So I worked at KFXX for about a year, on and off, like, and then my senior year of high school, I got hired on to a radio station in Portland. I'm never on air. Well, I was on air twice. Hold on, we'll get to those. But I got hired at KOTK, Talk Radio in Portland. And I was the morning show producer, Imus in the morning. Big show out of New York. And I took out all of the New York commercials and news and sports, and I put in all of ours in the breaks. Now, at that point, it was all computer. I'm not cutting tape like I used to. But getting it done and meeting people and knowing people that are in these big radio markets. And now all of a sudden, Anson's got a reputation as being this young go-getter producer who really wants to work hard on these shows. I was, I came from a world where you have to impress people. I'm looking for father figures and people because I never had a mom. So all I've known is impressing men. Guys get them professionally. You know what I mean? So I'm out there trying to get these guys on my side. So I become the best fucking producer I can. Um, I'll never forget one day I'm working for KOTK and I'm in some store with my dad and my phone rings. I had a little cellular phone, the old Nokias, remember that you could change the face plates and the colors. We were talking about that in the Fat and Spicy the other day. And the phone rings and it's this producer from another talk station. He goes, "Hey man, I heard that you're a producer. How the fuck you got my number? I don't know." He goes, "But I got a show in Portland called," and I'll say the show's name because I don't think the guy's alive anymore. It was the Jerry Dimmitt Show. He's like, "I need you to produce the Dimmitt Show. Come into the studio," which was a house. It's the first time I've ever seen this. The radio station was a fucking house. Like the living room and downstairs, there was a desk. It was the entryway, like the lobby. Upstairs were the studios. In each bedroom was a different, like two recording studios and a broadcast room. It's fucking beautiful. Fucking beautiful. So I go over there and I like Jerry. Jerry was a great guy. So I start producing the show. I'm sitting across from him and we're building rapport and we're building rapport. And finally, one day he asked me a question on air and we just started talking. And he looked at me and he goes, "Dude, why are you producing? You need to host." Now, back then I wasn't a smoker, a little bit, but I played around, high school and whatnot. But I had a much cleaner voice than I do now. I've got the gravel in the throat. You all can hear it. And I fucking smoke. What are you going to do? It's a shit habit. Wish I never picked it up. But so I started going around to radio stations. I built a demo tape. I went to a recording studio and I put together an on air demo tape. And it was me just talking, introducing songs and stuff. And I gave it out to a bunch of places. And this Christian station picked me up in Portland. This is all Portland. He's like, "Hey, man, we like your sound. The only thing we ask is that you just tone your voice down a little bit, trying to put some silk under your throat so that your voice is still because we're a Christian station. We're not out here to scare people. We want them to feel warm and loved and safe." Fine, I'll definitely do that. So I did. I became the host of Warm Sounds of Love, which is even better, right? Welcome to Warm Sounds of Love. I'm your host, Anson, and tonight we're going to take a look at some new albums by blah, blah, blah. So sit back, relax, and let's praise the Lord together. Not bad for an atheist, right? Um, so I spun records there, and I did all that shit for a couple of years, and I fell in love, and I fell in love, and then all of a sudden, all these Portland radio stations start getting bought up by these big corporations. Like it was the radio. What do you call it? Magna Carta. I don't know. It was just these radio stations from New York and the East Coast all came out west and bought everything up in one fell swoop. CBS, NBC, Westwood One, and they let us all go. And that was the last time that I worked in radio. There was nothing to do if you weren't a big New York conglomerate, producer with 2 degrees in fucking, engineering and communications. They didn't want you. And I'm running shows at this point professionally. Like I said, I was a producer for Imus, a producer, one of his 50. I was still a producer for Imus. I mean, I know what the fuck I'm doing. And they're like, "No, we don't want you. Don't worry about it. Have a good life, kid." So I gave up the radio gig and I kind of went out in search of other things. I worked at a Subway restaurant. That was like my first cooking job, real cooking, like for somebody that I don't know. And I don't know, there was something about putting food together that like clicked a thing in my head. And I'd cook at home, and this and that, but it was weird to actually get a chance to make food for the people. And it put an itch in me. And so any chance I could, that's what I went to try to do. Until finally I got to own my own place, which was a disaster. Let's just be honest. It's hard. Owning your own business is never easy. It doesn't matter how much money you have or who you are. Every single thing in your way, or every single thing that you accomplish that you come across is an obstacle. Like it's a hard obstacle, especially when you don't have that managerial background. I was never a kitchen manager. I was never, in charge. And then here I am running it all. It's like, so that's it, man. That's Anson. I like Star Wars, video games. Love video games. You guys will hear more about the video, more about me as we go along through these episodes. Now, today's a special episode because normally it's going to be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays that we do this. We're winding down to about 10-minute mark, so might as well might as well give it all. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm going to get on here. The time will be 9 a.m. Pacific. I was going to do 8. 8 don't work. 8's too early. I need to be up and setting up the studio and making sure that everything's ready and getting the coffee ready. So uh, we'll be doing this at 9 a.m. Pacific time, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, starting in 2 weeks. So what we're doing, this is an intro show. I'm just letting you guys know who I am. Things will be a little bit more structured as we go. I'll actually have a set list of what we're going to talk about that day. Today was more of a potpourri of just me telling you all about the bullshit that I go through in my life and all the bullshit that I am in my life because it's all bullshit, isn't it? I mean, really? I wake up in the morning and for 12 seconds I am who I am. And then you got to walk out that door and be somebody else. I mean, that's all of us. We can't be scared. We put on a face, we put on stone face, and we try our hardest. And that's really the challenge in life, isn't it? Is to remember which face is the real face and to put that one on from time to time to remember that it fits. And this is the first time that I've actually sat down for an hour straight and just walked with nobody interrupting, nobody, whatever. It's weird. It's also refreshing. Um, so we're gonna keep doing this, but it's not going to start for another couple of weeks. I've got 2 weeks. I just gave my 2 weeks, so I've got 2 weeks starting tomorrow. So week after next Friday will be my last day, and then we'll start up the Monday after that because I'm going to take a weekend for myself. So in 2 weeks we're going to be doing this full time, guys. I got to say it, and I don't want to say it, but I have to say it. Like, follow, subscribe. Right there. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. It means a lot. It keeps this going. I don't know what else to say. You know, we got this Trump thing going on in about an hour. We're going to figure out what's going on with our president. I hope he's okay. I don't like I didn't like Biden's politics either. The guy was just as bad on immigration as Trump. I mean, both sides were fucked. That don't mean that I want the man to die. And I get on TikTok and I see these fucking kids. Has it happened? Are you wishing for it? And then I see one lady who was like, they say, why are good people wishing for Trump's death? Why would they do that? I will wish it on a candle. I'll wish it on a dandelion. Really? Don't you just wish he was out of office? Do you really wish the man dead? Why would you fucking do that? Or who you are. Be a human being. Don't be a Republican or a Democrat. Be a fucking human. What if that was your dad or your grandpa? Yeah, he's crazy, but you love the motherfucker. I'm not a Trump fan, but you know what? He keeps me entertained, right? It's like a book. You got to see what the next chapter is about. And politics don't. Everybody thought political structure was coming to an end in 1910. Oh shit, the president did this and this and this and that. And we're all fucked now because he did this. Fuck you. We're still here. It's 2025. That was 115 years ago. We're still fucking here. We're still gonna be fucking here in another 100 years. So calm the fuck down. People don't have anything to be outraged anymore. Everything's so whitewashed. We have to make shit up. We have to make it fun to be mad. And we have to have views and likes and subscriptions. That's why I don't like to ask for it, but it's the dirty politics of doing podcasts. If you want to get out there at all, you got to beg for it. So guys, please like, follow, subscribe, check out everything we're doing. We're at the PNS Studio. There it is down there at the PNS Studio on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch. I think we're on Instagram, TikTok. You can find all of our stuff. Please check us out. Give us a shot. If you like what you see, come back for more. If not, tell me to go fuck myself and we'll have a good day. Until next time, kiddos, this is Anson. It's been Anson in the morning. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.